first ever Wednesday Night War Kayfabe episode?
Yep.
I could have swore this was the top 5 jobbers.
No. We discussed this through text, email, and on the phone. See?
Did you hit us on Twitter?
I did not.
Did you hit us on the Facebook group?
Not on the Twitter. Not in the Facebook group. But we spoke in person. We've been here all day. On our private text message group. Why is everybody looking at me like they don't know what I'm talking about? We're not doing top 5. We never talked about doing top 5 jobbers. Why is every time we get here, you guys want to do jobber? We're not doing top 5 jobbers. Start the episode. Start the episode.
Number 4, Finn Balor.
Kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
But to be the man, you gotta be the man.
Says I just whipped you.
We are the generation that eat. You make the rules, and we will.
Who is booking this drop? Oh boy. More than that.
WWE stands for.
I am Mr. Richie Moon,
And I'm Kayfabe Adrian. And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
Position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream rises to the top.
It's Kayfabe Avenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe Adrian.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue, and this is the first episode.
This episode
Is the first Wednesday Night Wars episode. And of course, you know, your boys, Kayfabe. I don't even know where that came from. But we were there live at Wednesday Night Dynamite. I mean, we brought you a lot of footage. Yo, it was live. It was
we
lit.
brought you a lot of footage. We brought you a lot of props.
Facts. You see our new setup? You know what I'm saying? You see, my boys had VIP. So my boys had VIP. These guys had VIP access, and I was sitting on the floor. I mean, it was a dope event, man. We even got a little bit of the bubbly, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of the water bottle. This is a little bit of the lunch bag, a little bit of thermal bag, a little bit of the thermal bag.
It came with the AEW water bottle right here.
Exactly, dope stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Came with the complimentary coin and the golden ticket.
Facts. We got a Young Bucks dollar sign. You know what I'm saying? When they do the intro and the Young Bucks dollar signs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got that. But you know what I'm saying? We post it all up on our Facebook page. So look at that. Focus. Read off the list. First off, before we start off, I should introduce our new show. This is not only just the first episode. This is our first new show. Let me break down to you how it goes. So we're going to give you all the results of NXT and AEW. Then we're going to go through the 5 points of war. What are the 5 points of war? I'm glad you asked. They are the ratings, the best match of the night, the most intrigue for next week, the most interesting storyline of the night, and the best overall show. That covers all the bases. So, Mr. Focus.
We should actually give them a little bit of backstory behind this kind of episode, though, because the whole premise of Kayfabe was bringing independent wrestling and all the news to the viewers.
Facts.
And the formation of AEW kind of coincides with the formation of Kayfabe Ave, and we was covering this formation and war of WWE and AEW, and you know it became the NXT Wednesday Night Wars, and now we're finally here. So
this started when I feel like the whole conception of Kayfabe Avenue really started like when Jericho went over on Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Right.
That's when all this kind of like started. Just like
it snowballed with the Elite, snowballed into all the wrestling guys.
Into now right now.
Thank you, Jericho.
Thank you, Jericho.
So, thank you, Jericho.
That is the thing. It really has been
possible.
Facts. It really has been. You know what I'm saying? Even with the green screen, like this was the ultimate vision of finally, like I'm saying, with like we envisioned. But with that being said, it's awesome because we're in the third golden age of professional wrestling. I'm saying
we've been saying that
since
the whole year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And
since it's been started.
With this episode, NXT going head to head with AEW for Wednesday nights and the ratings. This is just
these are the A shows right here. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, Raw and SmackDown, sorry, but AEW and NXT, those are the A shows. With that being said, focus. Start us off, sir.
All right, so here's the rundown of NXT. We have the NXT champion Adam Cole defeated Matt Riddle, and then we also have Io Shirai. She defeated Mia Yim. Johnny Gargano defeated Shane Thorne. Shayna Baszler defeated Candice LeRae. Pete Dunne defeated Danny Burch, and the NXT champions, the Undisputed Era, defeated the Street Profits. What did you guys think of the show?
Era's still undisputed.
That's a solid card right there.
That was a very solid card. I thought that first match to open up with Adam Cole and Matt Riddle, it's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
We'll get more into that when we hit the 5 stages of war.
Facts.
Let's
who were the matches on the AEW?
That Wednesday Night Dynamite.
On Wednesday Night Dynamite, we had Cody Rhodes defeating Sammy Guevara. We had MJF defeating Brandon Cutler in a record of less than 2.5 minutes, I think. That's probably that's the new record right there. Then we have Pac defeating Hangman Page. And then we had the Women's World Championship, Riho versus Nyla, which Riho wins. And then for the main event, we had Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana defeating the Elite.
Well, I want to actually say a little bit why I said that was the worst match of the night. MJF versus what was his name?
Brandon Cutler.
Brandon Cutler. It had a couple botches. It looked like Brandon Cutler was about to injure himself.
Yeah.
Trying to do a turnbuckle spot. Not only that, it kind of like exposed MJF a little bit on the technicality and the actual art of wrestling. He's got the promo work. He's got the mic skills. But I feel like this match kind of exposed that he's not necessarily ready for that spotlight. And to me, the match was horribly done. The way it ended, the submission, it just didn't look real. Didn't look
That's because
impactful.
Really, I don't want to blame on anybody, but the story of the match, the way I see it, the story of the match was supposed to be that Brandon Cutler was going to come out here doing all these technical moves, like, you know what I'm saying, like he was going to go for like the sunset flip and all that, but he ended up unfortunately botching them. He was going to do all this technical stuff, and then MJF was going to slap the armbar on him, just like it's a nasty heel, do like a dirty move.
But the armbar came off like it wasn't impactful. Like
exactly, in the way he tapped out,
his own damn near instantly. So
the execution just wasn't good. The idea was good, but the execution of it.
We have the best match in the 5 stages of war, but I feel like
maybe you know what we should do? We'll have the best match / worst match. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not just be counted in one.
Yes.
So I think that's a perfect.
So starting off with the best match and worst match of the week, in my opinion, I feel like the worst match of the week for the Wednesday Night Wars, Brandon Cutler versus MJF.
How about you, Focus?
I think I'm going to have to go with the worst match being Riho versus Nyla.
Wow.
I didn't like that match so much.
I can honestly, I can understand why you would even say that. There was just a couple of things that just didn't make sense. The referee not, being a better official as far as controlling the fact that Nyla's bringing out all these chairs and weapons and disregarding the rules, and that's a big problem AEW's have recently is where do the rules begin and end? And no referee so far has shown their authority in the ring. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I feel like that if the MJF match didn't come off as bad to me, I think that's a good contender for worst match of the week. Wow. As far as that side of it goes, it actually was a good match though. For the most part. I was gonna say I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It had a good build and it kind of exploded more towards the end. Yeah. But there were a couple of what the hell moments. What's going on? Like where do the rules begin and end? So I see why you say that. What about you?
AEW got to clean that up. Mine is the same, the MJF and the Brandon Cutler, and it's a shame because if they would have executed it right, it would have been a really good match. Like I said, I feel like the story of the idea of the match was Brandon Cutler was going to do his real high fly super stuff, and then MJF is going to slap his arm bar and catch him real quick with a tap out. The execution didn't really go as well, but it's all right. So
Brandon needs to train more. That's what it is.
So let's
not only that, MJF needs to hold up his end too. I think they did a good job establishing the fact that he's the heel in AEW. He's going to be somebody big in that promotion going forward. But the in-ring work, and this is not just based off of the first episode of AEW Dynamite. This is based off the builds up for the past couple pay-per-views and the events that we actually got to see him wrestle in the ring. And it's just been more of the same as far as MJF in the ring. So I hope he has more improvement and gets better matches going forward.
Nice. So the best match across the two shows, I definitely think, is Adam Cole, Bebe, versus Matt Riddle. That NXT Championship match was dope.
That was my pick as well.
Matt Riddle is dope. Matt Riddle is just like one of my favorite wrestlers. Adam Cole, to me, has really stepped up his in-ring game as of late, especially as being champion. Those matches with Johnny Gargano and match.
Now, this match went on 30 minutes uninterrupted. That was something that NXT was hammering on. Limited commercial interruption. They actually went 30 minutes uninterrupted for the Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle match. And hard-hitting. That's the biggest thing I got out of this match. Was it was hard hitting as hell.
Yep.
They went for it all. Like they a couple spots they hit finishes or signatures in the match, and it was like you thought it was over. They're kicking out of stuff.
A lot of false finishes, a lot of big moves,
a lot of high impact Canadian destroyer off the turnbuckle,
bro triggers.
Yeah,
good stuff.
A lot of hard hitting action. That is definitely a match specifically that you have to see.
So what do you think, Focus? What was the best match of the night between the two shows?
Adam Cole, baby.
We all agree is best match of the week. Adam Cole, Matt Riddle.
Okay, and we all know who won the ratings. AEW won the ratings war with coming at 1.4 million to NXT's 891,000. I was a little shocked by this. I really thought, even though we were there at the show live, obviously hardcore AEW fans, hardcore wrestling fans, but I thought that NXT was going to win the ratings war, but
apparently we were wrong.
And I eat that humble pie. I eat it gladly. So we'll see what moving forward.
Well, I kind of expected AEW to win this first night going head to head for the simple fact something completely brand new is finally on TV. It's the first episode ever. Although NXT is still fresh and new on USA, they were on their third episode in.
Yeah.
We've actually got to experience NXT as a weekly episodic television show on the WWE Network. So it's just something that we just changed from watching streamed on the network to just watching on the television channel. So this was expected in my part for AEW to get the ratings for that night.
There's
new
viewers about that.
New viewers interested.
There was like the studies show like there is new viewers, a demographic between 18 and 40 something. And like those numbers were there that aren't there. Like WWE's numbers come from either really younger people or really older people. So AEW seems like they're bringing a new wrestling audience.
That just makes perfect sense because that's just the demographic that WWE looks for. Period. They're targeting the children, and I feel like now with the changes they're doing for Raw and the changes they're doing for SmackDown, they actually started to gear more towards adult-oriented programming. But I feel like NXT is the perfect, that's the perfect demographic to change 18 to 30 something, 40 something for NXT. I feel like Raw and SmackDown's gonna still try to get the children, but AEW
is doing some interesting numbers. They did a really good number.
I think it's gearing for the teenagers and the adult audience. I don't think they're really at all catering to the children.
They're adult. Yeah, they're adult. They're adult wrestling. They're adult wrestling show.
Lana Rose, they had chairs and
Yeah.
I mean, but they
No
do,
reason.
but they do chairs and stuff like that on Raw and SmackDown. But they did a really good number with
Yeah,
the
but they
show.
don't do the
night
hardcore.
before.
They don't do the hardcore element too much on Raw and SmackDown or NXT for that matter.
But they did a really good number the night before with their countdown show, and like for their replays, they did like another the replay that they did right after did another 650,000. So their numbers are up. Their numbers are up. So
we'll see where they are next week.
Facts. So the most intrigue for next week. So basically, what show made you want to tune in the most the next week?
AEW.
How about for you?
It's hard for me because there was a couple standout moments on both shows that got me watching. But I'd say AEW. AEW. I definitely want to see more.
Yeah. I feel the same way. AEW, their premiere show. I'm definitely interested to see what to do next week. It seems like we got a new stable. We got a tag team tournament starting. They're building up to their set, not even their fifth, sixth pay-per-view, but their first pay-per-view post TV. So I'm definitely interested to see what's going on with AEW. I don't even know when the next takeover is, but I'm pretty sure we'll find out soon. What was the most interesting storyline of the night across both shows?
That new stable.
Ooh.
Some stable on AEW. The end of the
Jericho,
show.
Sammy Guevara, the formerly known as LAX, Ortiz and Santana, Jack Hager.
I'd say I think I agree with you on that for the simple fact that this was the first time we found out about Jack Hager even signing to AEW officially. So
And he's been signed for a
with the
while.
surprise factor of that and the fact that Jericho's the El Champion.
Oh, champion!
He's the champion of AEW. We got young Sammy Guevara who clearly showed his heel side in the match versus
And
Cody.
he's a really good wrestler.
He held his own for sure. Had great moments in the opening match. He was actually the first ever match on AEW Dynamite. Him versus Cody. So
they obviously picked him for a reason.
Yeah, and we didn't have confirmation if they are a stable yet.
I think Tony Khan maybe a little bit slipped a
He
little bit
slipped
in the
it.
post. Which I love because even though, like you said, he's a smart businessman. That's just a big.
He's a
wrestler,
mark.
man.
He's a billionaire mark.
He is.
And he employed a bunch of outlaw, dirty mud wrestlers into a $1 billion business.
I wonder who was saying that. I wonder
There
who
was,
was saying
what's
that.
funny? There was a lot of fear. Young Bucks fear Cornette, or Cornette fears the Bucks signs in the arena. So it's funny.
I actually disagree with you guys, and I think that the most interesting storyline of the night has to go to NXT. Even though I did like maybe the new stable, maybe the not new stable. I like everything about AEW, but I really thought it was interesting that Finn Balor is now in NXT, that Ciampa is now returned, and I'm really interested to see now that World Heavyweight Championship picture has gotten a lot bigger with Ciampa and Finn Balor being there. So I'm actually going to give it to NXT, but majority rules, so AEW takes that one. Yeah. So for the last and most important question, we went through the ratings.
Okay.
We went through the best and worst match of the night.
Yep.
We went through the which show we're most interested in seeing next week. We went for the best storyline of that night across both shows. Now, the last question. The champion of the questions.
El Champion
of the questions. What was the best overall show in the first Wednesday Night War?
See, for me, I gotta break it down in categories because I can't specifically give best show to each. I would say in the overall package, production-wise and everything, AEW just looks so much more polished. But NXT was the better wrestling show of the night. That match between Adam Cole and Matt Riddle, best night of the match, best night of the match of the night, along with the Gargano match and the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era. Really, it was the best wrestling overall show of the night. Yeah, I give the production and look and the style to AEW, but if we're talking specifically wrestling, I'd give that to NXT.
But I understand where you're coming from, but I need an NXT or I need an AEW. I need a straight either one, E.or.
So every week when you ask me this question, I'm gonna base it strictly on the wrestling.
The wrestling?
What they gave me as far as wrestling.
Okay, so
wrestling?
The best wrestling.
So you'll be NXT, so yours is gonna be NXT.
Mine will be NXT for this week.
Focus, you?
NXT.
Yeah. I feel that the premiere of Wednesday Night Dynamite, despite Adam Cole, baby, and Matt Riddle, and Johnny Gargano, and Candice LeRae, NXT is always awesome as far as their wrestling. But I feel as an overall show, I feel like as a flow, this is what really did it for me, the flow of AEW. As WWE fans, we've gotten very accustomed to shows going like up and down. For the main event, they bring you down just so they can bring you back up. What I noticed with AEW is they bring you up, then they neutralize you. Then they bring you up, then they neutralize you. Then boom! That's the main event right there. And that is completely different. This is all of us been watching wrestling like almost all of us. And that's why I felt.
This is why it's so hard for me to give that straight up answer.
I agree with you guys. The wrestling was better on
with
NXT.
Full Sail, you only get about 500 to 750 fans in there. So when you look at an AEW show, you see 15,000 fans.
But I'm talking about the structure. That's between NXT or WWE. That's just the way they do their stuff. They bring you down before the main event. They bring you down.
You mean how they book the matches? And the order.
AEW, they didn't do that. They throw like a nice segment in it, and that stays around the ring. That's not too far. That's what I noticed. They never really went to backstage. They really stayed.
I don't think they're gonna have the actual backstage segment thing. I think they're doing more like video packages and everything happening inside the arena.
I think that makes more. I think that makes sense because they're going for like a really sports feel. But it was the flow of the show to me. The flow was so dope. Like,
so have you been tallying?
I have been tallying.
So who's
AEW war?
Who's the winner of the war for this week?
The winner of this war for this week, since majority.
And you know, it's a war, so there's going to be many battles.
Many
so
battles. The first battle goes to all elites with winning 3-2 with NXT winning best match of the night and NXT winning best overall show. But AEW taking the ratings, intrigue for next week, and most interesting storyline of the night. So you can see we was all had different opinions for different ways. I love this. This is the third golden age of professional wrestling. Wednesday night is where the A show is. Sorry, Friday and Monday. This is where the A show is.
The eyes are going to be peeled every Wednesday. I think I'm going to do the double screen thing. Probably have 2 TVs running on at the same time. That's how I'm going to watch my wars.
I feel like, honestly, the ratings for both of these shows are going to start to go up because people are going to start to realize NXT and AEW is really where it's at. This is the way wrestling should be. You know what I'm saying? Just the work rate, the storylines, everything makes sense, and this wrestling is good. Why not? Is that too much to ask for? But you guys know that we can do this all day. With that being said, AJ, where can they find you at, good sir?
At Kayfabe_AJ on Instagram.
Focus, where can they find you at, good sir?
Kayfabe_Focus.
Richie Moon, where can they find you at? You can find me at Mr. Richie Moon, or more importantly, you can find me at Kayfabe Avenue. Join our Facebook group, subscribe to us on the YouTube, follow all of us on Instagram. The A Show. The A Show of YouTube. I hear it, man. We climbing, man. The numbers is climbing. The numbers is climbing. Matter of fact, while we got this time, thank you to all of us. We just reached 300 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you to all of us. We're 200 plus strong in our Facebook group. With that being said, this is Focus. This is Kayfabe AJ. I'm Mr. Richie Moon. Kenny, take us home.
Goodbye. And good night.